The last category of hardware we're going to discuss is input-output hardware, also known as I/O hardware, also referred to as peripherals. It's basically anything that you plug into the computer to make it easier to use. So this could be a keyboard, could be a mouse, could be a monitor. Back then, input-output hardware was non-existent. Remember back in the day, if you wanted to program a computer, you'd have to use all these cables. Eventually, moved on to the keyboard, so we can actually tell the computer what to do. We could type in commands into a command line interface. But then we advanced that user interface. Now we had pictures, buttons, and we moved on to the mouse. Now we have touchscreen. We also have biometric readers, right? We have things that read our face for data. We have voice assistants. So really, it's exploded in terms of I/O hardware. There's so many different ways to interface with a computer. So these devices basically make it easier to use that computer and help present information to the user in a more accessible form. Remember, information is data that has been processed into something meaningful and useful. So information is for humans, data is for computers. So if you click on this image here, it'll open up an infographic. So you can see some of the different categories of input output devices. Some of them do fall as both input and output. That's going to be a little question on your quiz. So make sure you're familiar with what we mean by input, what we mean by output. So input is providing information to the computer, such as a microphone. It's going to give your sound, the voice, right, to the computer. Keyboard, it's going to give different keystrokes, letters, numbers, symbols to the computer. Mouse, you can point and click, right, to tell the computer what to do. We have a tablet, right? It's an input device because you can use it to tell the computer what to do, but it's also an output device because it has a screen, right, for you to see what's going on. A little clue for the quiz, maybe. We have other output devices that are purely output, so screens, right, monitors, the ones namely that don't have input ability, you can't touch the screen. That's going to be purely an output device because all it does is show you what you're doing on the computer. Speakers, all it does is output music, sounds, right, to the user. Printer, all it does is output actual tangible physical paper, right, representations of digital documents or pictures. So click around to get familiar with some of these. I'll let you do that on your own. But yeah, that's input output hardware, some examples. There's too many, right, to discuss, but those are just a few of the most common ones. Another thing for you to watch on your own is why a sausage can do what your gloves cannot. So a little TED Ed video explaining on how touchscreens work. It's really interesting. It relies on human electricity for them to work. So it's really, really interesting concept that a lot of people aren't familiar with. We all use touchscreens, but almost none of us know how they work. So make sure you watch that video. And then another one, this one's optional. This is how the QWERTY keyboard came into popularity. It turns out QWERTY keyboard, maybe not the best keyboard, but it's the one that's stuck around. So a few reasons behind that. A lot of capitalism involved. But yeah, QWERTY keyboard has definitely stuck around. It definitely gets the job done, but maybe this video, right, gives you ideas on maybe there's better systems out there for keyboards. But yeah, QWERTY keyboard just in a little trajectory of how it came to be.